Well, thanks for coming down.
No worries.
Glad the journey wasn't too much
Yeah.
of a ball ache. Is it nice to be back in Chai?
It was a little strange, but yeah, it was all right. Kind of like getting here. Kind of, it's really busy again, so that's a bit. Funny,
Must be something going on this time of year. Must be.
Yeah, it's the same time every single year.
Yeah.
Everyone just goes a bit manic. It's like
I don't get it.
neither.
I'm going to take this down with the clippers first, and then
Yeah.
I'll go over it with a shaver to get
Quality.
it
Thank
nice
you.
and tight.
Cheers.
Well, I want to get. What I would like is for you to explain sort of because I met you.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
had.
it was towards the tail end.
That's the understatement of the century.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd just love to hear your version of events.
So I obviously it's kind of been a 3-year long thing, I'd say, kind of since coming to uni and then kind of with a full head of hair and then leaving uni kind of with no hair at all to speak of.
Yeah.
So kind of for the first year at uni, I had very thick hair. It was kind of like, yeah, I know I'm probably going to go bald at some point, but I assumed it would be when I was 30, not when I was just 21 or, well, pretty much in my 20s, kind of going straight skinhead. But yeah, didn't really get haircuts in first year at all. If I did, it would be when I went home. So I didn't really have a lot of value on my hair then for some reason. I put a load of snake oil in it and everything to try and keep it still, like try and hang on to some of it.
Yeah.
And then kind of second year, I just kind of gave up with that. I was like, oh, I'm kind of doing all right. It seemed to come back okay. Then probably at the end of second year, it started getting really noticeable. And it would be still quite long. It would be kind of to my eyebrows. But you could notice it being quite thin, especially when I was doing stuff like anything in water, be really obvious. Sweating at all would just completely make it like quite obvious, the fact that I didn't have much hair. And then in the beginning of third year, I was on a trip and kind of like we were taking stupid photos or whatever with like a 0.5 filter and a flash, and I could see straight through my hair, straight to the skin underneath. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is probably about time to think about getting it a bit shorter. And I think that was probably about the time that I started coming here to you.
Yeah.
And again, it's weird because this is probably the only kind of male barbershop I've been to. Every other time it's kind of been with a hairdresser that I used to go to as a kid.
Yeah.
Kind of all the way up through sixth form and into uni. Just went to her because it was like where my mum went. And I couldn't be bothered to change because I don't like meeting new people.
Yeah.
So kind of coming here was the first time that I'd come into an environment like this. And it was kind of like a bit of a wake-up call. I remember kind of the first few sessions kind of here, kind of just talking over it, kind of going shorter and shorter. And it was kind of always hanging around in the air. That I would get rid of it at some point, and I kind of knew that by the end of kind of this, well, by this summer it would have probably all gone. And yeah, kind of Christmas time last year I think it was, or February time, I just kind of had weird stuff going on in my life and I kind of just went, fuck it, might as well take the plunge. I mean, it is hilarious looking back now because it was only, I think it was like a 8mm guard or something stupid like that? So it was still quite long in comparison to...
I think we did a 3, I'm sure. I think I remembered a 3 and then maybe a fade on the sides.
Yeah, it was still long in comparison to this, but it just felt like such a big step. And kind of after that, it sounds strange, but I kind of got a bit like, oh, I like it being short. I want to go shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I remember before kind of graduation, or I was going on a big trip to America in summer, and I was like, well, you know, I'm going away for like 4 weeks. I'm not going to see anyone for a while. I might as well just kind of shave it off, get comfortable with it, and then by the time I come back, I'll be comfortable with how my hair looks. So if anyone says anything, it doesn't really matter as much, because it's like I've already had that time to let me get used to it.
Yeah.
Which actually really helped. I mean, my mum was a bit petrified with me doing it. I remember doing it kind of as a spur of the moment thing. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna just shave it off. I'm done with kind of worrying about it or whatever.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did it, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna get a bollocking. So she came back from kind of errands or whatever, and I had a hat on my head, and I didn't take it off for like the first 3 hours of her being at home. She was like, why are you walking around with a hat on? I was like, okay, I've got to confess I've done something. But yeah, she's actually was all right about it in the end, and kind of still finds it quite funny, but you know, it's not the end of the world.
It really isn't, and I'm glad you see it as that.
Yeah. Because
I think when I met you, you had your hair on the top. You had like hair like a polar bear. It was like transparent, wasn't it?
Yeah. I've kind of I've always been kind of very fair haired anyway,
Yeah.
so it doesn't help. And my hair was very two-toned. It would be
Yeah.
extremely light on the top, very dark on the sides.
Yeah.
So it just made it more exaggerated, really.
And I remember when we did it, I said, what's going to happen is you're going to cut it short, and then this new short is going to be too long, and it's going to keep going and going and going. And actually, I'm surprised at how quickly you've got to this.
Yeah.
Which I think is great, by the way. Either way, I think the option was just to stop it blowing around in the wind. When I met you, used to have, well, I think obviously you had someone else cut it before me, and there was bits of weight that I wouldn't have necessarily kept there.
It was very much like it would be 3 weeks and it would look terrible again.
Yeah.
It's like overhanging, everything, just shit haircuts, which was probably my fault, because I just didn't really, like I say, know what I wanted from a haircut anyway.
And I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, but I think after you shaved it, quite tragically, you went through some stuff.
Yes.
Sort of not a very well timed.
No.
Almost made it seem like, because I think that that's often a worry. Is my partner won't like it, right?
Yeah. So before, kind of, I think it was, I had a hair appointment with you, like a haircut booked in, maybe on the Monday or Tuesday, and on the Sunday, kind of everything fell apart. And I kind of was still coming into here kind of a bit pissed off or whatever. I remember telling you, like, I've gone on like 5 runs in the past 4 days, and like I never run. Or I never run or do anything. And I kind of came in here and was like, well, that's happened. Might as well just go the whole hog, kind of do the typical thing of like shave it all off, start again. Yeah. And then having, it kind of just took another worry off the table. It sounds weird, but then having all the kind of stuff with uni, not really enjoying it, not really having the greatest time in the world for the past, 6 months, kind of taking my hair and worrying about losing it off the board actually helped quite a lot. Because it's just one of those things that you're always thinking about. And I remember kind of the first time I went into a lecture or did anything with my hair being really short again, it was quite nerve-wracking. But to be honest, no one really gave it a second glance. I mean, you get I still get the jokes and whatever, but it's like, it's like, well, if that's the thing they're taking the piss out of me for, then it's kind of like, who really cares?
Did people take the piss when it was thinning?
Yes, a lot more than, it was always when you're going to go to Turkey.
Yeah.
Are you starting like all these things? Oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Always trying to be like a kind of telling me to try different things with it, which I get. Like, I understand the whole thing about people going to Turkey and getting hair transplants and things like that. But it'd be like if I was saying I was going anywhere on a holiday, that would be brought up. It'd be like, yeah, cheers, guys. And I mean, I'd say I did consider it, like, because I'm quite, well, in comparison to a lot of people when they lose their hair, I feel like it's very young to start losing it around 20. So it was a very serious consideration, kind of like, oh, do I try and, like I say, try all the drugs, try everything like that to try and stop it? Do I try and get a transplant or whatever? And then I realised I can't really be bothered. And I'd rather lose it now than go through all of that than kind of lose it later on.
It's almost having to lose it twice.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really want to go through it again. And to be honest, the fact it's high maintenance in some respects because you have to keep on top of it. But in other respects, the fact it's just like I can just shave it off with a razor and it becomes a bit like a routine or whatever, and a bit and it kind of like that one time or kind of once every 3 days or whatever, kind of that's my time to kind of, I don't know, using it as a bit of reflection time really. Yeah. Which is quite, it sounds weird, but it got to the point where it was like, okay, I can't really change it. And I don't mind being bald. It's quite weird. It's like I'm going through that all of that worrying about losing my hair, and then now getting to the point where it's like I actually enjoy it. Like it's definitely given me a lot of confidence back. There's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't do previously that I do now, which is strange.
Like, can you think of an example?
I don't really know. I think I talk to people. I'm a bit more open now. Yeah. With a lot of people. Oftentimes it'll be a case of I've started up swimming again, kind of fitness reasons, and also it's a bit easier to get in a pool now because I'm not worrying about my hair. Kind of like I'm not constantly having to hide it, brush it over, worried if it's windy, worried if I'm playing sports and someone's taking photos, things like that, because I can't change it. It's like, it's not going to blow around in the wind and change how I look, really.
Yes. And I think that's massive, is like you say, it is a maintenance trim that you have to keep it, or you don't have to, but to make it look tidy, it's better to keep it shorter. Yeah. But the cool thing about it being this short is even if it grows out to, even if it got to like a grade 3, it still wouldn't be blowing about in the wind, and it wouldn't be a hassle. No, you just look like a scruffy bald bloke.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the end of the world, really. And I think that's kind of that mindset of it kind of doesn't really change who I am as a person. As cringe as it sounds.
Why does that sound cringe?
I guess kind of like you worry, you put values on certain things, and I was worried a lot of people will kind of change their attitude towards me in a weird way. But a lot of people kind of were just like, oh, it suits you, it looks nice. Or when I see them anywhere and I haven't seen them in a few years, it takes them a while to kind of recognise it's me, because they're like, who the fuck's that? And then they kind of realise, and they're like, oh, it looks quite nice. And I have got quite a few compliments about it, which has been really, really reassuring. Because even though I feel like I like it a lot of the time, there are still some mornings where I wish I could wake up and I had a full head of hair. But you know. is what it is.
Yeah, I get that, man. Like I sometimes think about what it would like I used to love having hair, right?
Yeah.
I think we all do. We all enjoy
Yeah.
having hair so we can have different styles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the trade-off for being like becoming easier, happier, or happier, easier rather,
Yeah.
just by shaving your head and making it look tidy. It's I want to go back to the point about people taking the mick or cracking jokes while your hair was going, and
Yeah.
then I think what's interesting about what you said is like because you've had time to get used to your head, maybe the insults or the piss taking doesn't sting as much because you've accepted it, whereas before it might sting a bit because you knew something was up as well.
You can't. I think it's the stage of it's going, and the kind of the piss taking and everything. It was always making it seem worse than it is, and you worry more and you worry more, and stress obviously doesn't help kind of your hair grow. It kind of, well, in my instance, I think stress and everything made it fall out more. And I understand why it's kind of that typical thing of like you'll be around your mates, kind of taking the piss and whatever, and you're just joshing about. And I think once I realised that I give as good as I get, oftentimes they're going to target that they might target me being bald or whatever. It kind of switches it on its head. It's like, well, you're just having a laugh, really. But I understand it can be hurtful, and there have been times where it's like fucking hell, I'm 21 years old and I'm already bald. It's just, it doesn't, it kind of, there will be days where that cuts a bit deeper, I think.
Especially if you frame it like that.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I don't think, this is quite cool. Not everyone gets to go bald, so it's actually quite rare to be like, I'm already bald.
Yeah, I have been. There is a few times where I've been to my mates. I am preying on your downfall, and as soon as your hair starts to recede or starts to fall out, I'm going to relentlessly take the piss.
Have you had the pleasure of calling a bald person bald yet? Because that chef's
I don't
kiss.
think so. Yeah.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, but it's kind of a ongoing joke with a few of my mates. It's like they're already starting going, and it's like, oh, it's time's coming. Kind of like, you should join me in being bald a bit.
Well, I guess you being the pioneer that you are amongst your group of friends, you're actually quite a good person to go to now. Life is still good.
Yeah, it is quite funny. I mean, because a lot of them, it is still kind of that funny thing of like, yeah, it's not going to happen to me or whatever.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to wait, at least, for it to happen to me.
Sure.
So that's always fun.
Before we wrap this up, I want to ask you if you had any advice for someone that was in a similar position to you, where they were really worried about it. Maybe it'd gone past the point, and they were still not taking it into their own hands, or not accepting it.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I think the main thing that helped me through was kind of, it's going to sound weird, but people watching. Like if you just walk down a high street or whatever, you see so many different kind of hairstyles and whatever, and kind of like different people. And a lot of them will be bald. And you look at them and you go, they don't look weird at all. And kind of it suits them. You couldn't imagine a bald person with hair past a certain point, I think.
Yeah.
And I wonder when kind of I'll get to that stage where I'll be like, I can't imagine me with hair now.
Yeah.
But I'd say to someone who's kind of worrying about it, I'd say at a certain point, trying to grow your hair out and trying to make it look longer, or kind of cover things up, and living in that space of constantly worrying about it falling out and everything like that, or even considering kind of going to have kind of a hair transplant or anything like that, I'd say you're going to have to, like for a hair transplant specifically, they're gonna shave your head beforehand anyway. Before they do that. So before you make that commitment, I'd say just test the waters with it. It doesn't have to be a case of you have to go bald immediately. Just take it slow. I think that's what helped me especially. I think if I'd have come in on that first day here and you've taken out a straight razor and immediately shaved it all off.
Got you to this.
Yeah, to this. I think that would have been really harsh. But if you take it slow and kind of build up to it, or build down to it, it helps a lot more. And I think a lot of people will respect the fact that you're doing it in a weird way. Because, I don't know, I always hated the idea of someone looking at me and going, he should really shave it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it, I feel like being in that position and kind of feeling like everyone's watching you, expecting you to shave it in a weird way. I don't know. It's so hard to kind of
Yeah, I'm not
know what to say to
I'm-
someone.
It was just an idea.
Yeah.
You know, I think what you said is quite a fun way of looking at it. It's like, if you know you're going to have to shave your hair off before your hair transplant, why not be playful and see what it looks like?
Oh yeah, play around with it.
Yeah.
Go for a mohawk or something. Do a monk trim first and,
Yeah.
and go from there.
Awesome.
And I'd say it's quite hard for kind of you to lose it as you're younger. I know a few people who are kind of like just kind of being online or whatever. You see in comment sections like, I'm 17, my hair's already falling out, am I cooked or whatever. And it's quite surprising how many, on the flip side of everyone being so negative and taking the piss, people are actually in those comment sections and being like, it's fine. You know, there's always going to be someone out there who's in the exact same position as you, but took that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I think that you as a person is more important than your hair.
Yeah.
Like if you're a solid bloke, like, no one's gonna care really. You just got to be a decent person.
And you are a solid bloke.
I try to be.
You definitely are. You're a legend.
I still have to smile. Just got to make sure I smile all the time, otherwise people run away.
Awesome, thank you.
No
I'm gonna
worries.
stop the cameras there.
Yeah.
And I'll tidy up your beard.
Thank you.